So that is why you see the gloves and everything I have here, the little container that I use for resin pour. I measure in ounces. Yes, that's how I measure. So this is a 24 by 16, so that means I need about 17 ounces of resin. But I would add maybe more like 20 ounces because that's what I'll be using. Let's see, how many ounces is this bottle? Well, we will find out as soon as I start pouring it out. I want to show you the painting from yesterday. You see how nice it dried nicely. So all I have to do is wait till another week or two, and I will put the varnish on it. It'll make it pop. It'll look so beautiful with the varnish. I'm not talking much. After I put on my mask, I have my mask here. It's because it's hard to talk with a mask on when you're doing resin art. Alright, so I'm going to use the background is going to be black. It's already black. See, I painted it black already with a gesso. So, and I want it to be black. And like I said, this is 24 by 16. 16, yes. And got to make sure it's level, your table. If your table is not level, your resin will slide all the way to one side. The next day, your painting doesn't look like you're painting anymore. It'll look like a mess. So I'm just going to put on this jacket. Thank God I got these lab coats when I used to work in the hospital, because it's good to cover your sleeves, you know, your wrist very good like this, because you don't want resin on your skin at all. It'll make you itch a lot. And do not rub it with alcohol. Just clean it with soap and water. If that should ever happen. So that's why I wear this. So these are just preventions and precautions that you must follow when using resin. You must wear a mask. You got to take good care of yourself. Use the blowtorch. Blowtorch is to burst the bubbles. It's not to move your resin around. Your resin would move around if you use a blow gun. Blow gun is different than a blowtorch. Torch is actually the fire coming out. Okay. And the blow gun gets hot, but not as hot as the blowtorch. And you could get burned with both, because they both get pretty hot. So I'm just giving you precautions. You know, I follow my PPE like I did in the hospitals when I worked in hospitals. You know, we went to PPE meetings and all that, so you learn how to be very precautionate about everything you use before you use it. Okay, so I'm going to pour the part B first. This is from my beautiful friends from the Epoxy Resin store. I've used them many a time, so I use them, and I use my ZD sticky resin, which dries like glass. And this one is just this wonderful. I love it. And of course, my Stone Cold countertop is also another very, very, very good resin. That one I use for my river table. So whenever they offer free or they go down in prices, I get it right away. I don't care what kind of resin it is. Resin is something you just have to know how to use. Your room has to be in temperature. Like my room right now is 72, and the humidity is 35. So that's good for resin pour. And you want to put an equal amount of both, part A and part B. Because if you don't, and you put too little of part, part A, then you'll have a very soggy kind of resin that would never dry. Now, if you put too much B, it's okay, but you don't want to do that either, because then it's going to be so dry, it's going to be very, very, very too hard. Or maybe just hard. Let me not exaggerate here. So I started doing an abstract painting this morning. morning, and then decided I wanted to do this because I haven't done this in a while. So that's the way I am. The abstract painting's on the easel. I could always go back to it and just, continue to finish it. And I don't have my mask yet because I am talking to you and letting you know how I do this. So I'm going to put 10 of part B, because remember I said 20. So let's see, this is about 8, that's about 10 right there. Oop, it went to 12. Let's empty out a little bit, it's too much. You could throw it back in the container as long as you didn't use it. And they're not mixed together. So, I'm not advising you to do this, but I have used resin to even put my heels together back on my shoe. It fell off one day. So it looks like I have enough for another pour. That is lovely. Okay, so this is a little thicker. This is part A. It's a bit thicker. You could also warm it up before you pour it and you use it. But my house is very warm, so I don't bother to warm up my resin. And if you want to learn about more resin, you could look at my playlist on YouTube. I have a lot of playlist channels videos that I do tutorials on different resins that I've used. And you could also go to Erica and Jeff on ATD, Artist to Death. They are also on YouTube. They have a lot of resin tutorials. I learned a lot from them too. In YouTube, we're one big family. We all get together. We all learn from one another. So, and that's great. Who else? Yeah, those are the people I know that are constantly teaching and doing classes. I don't do classes. I just don't do classes. I just do whatever I do on YouTube, which is a few tutorials, and just do my artwork. And I'm gonna put my mask on now because I'm doing this. I have to stir it for about 3 to 5 minutes. There we go. I don't know if you can hear me, but maybe you won't talk much. Let's see. always takes over. That's what the copper does. It always takes over. I'm going to use the blow gun.